of the entire monarchy, the great institution of the UK, and it's like all of a sudden everything is just exposed. What are your thoughts?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
You know, it's like things people can believe in. One of the ways that you get a population to rip itself apart is remove things that people had faith in. So some people may have had faith in the church.
Okay.
And we've seen how, you know, our churches are now architects' offices, which really annoys me. Or you could rip apart things that they might believe in, like people may have been proud of their flag. So you make it that people can't fly the Union flag anymore. That a flag is kind of a racist symbol. I mean, imagine the flack you're going to get for sitting in front of part of the Union flag, just because it happens to be in my house. And then the royal family. Now, for young people, it may have been meaningless anyway. You may be anti-monarchist. But for a large tranche of the population, the royal family was something they were proud of and believed in and believe in, particularly in the time of the Queen Mother and the Queen.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
And my family were always 3 o'clock on a Christmas day. Everybody has to be in front of the TV to listen to the Queen. That was always a tradition that my grandparents had, and you weren't allowed to speak. That's just how it was. So it was just another thing people could believe in. And another thing that gets ripped apart. I think Meghan Markle was a very useful way of kind of destroying that. Obviously, in a modern era, what's the relevance?
So when you say useful way,
Wait for it.
are you implying she's some kind of plant?
I don't know that a plant. I just know that she was very, very well trained, both as an actress, even though you may say she's a crap actor. But she was a very useful fool for helping destroy one of the loveliest things, which was the relationship between the two brothers. Meghan Markle, when she went on her first date, this is from my time at Mail Online.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
When I had access to things, Meghan Markle on her first date with Prince Harry wore Princess Diana's perfume, which, if you're like an emotive person that remembers things with smells,
Are you serious?
and remembers safety or security or the smell of home, Meghan Markle smelt like his mother on the first date. So she came along.
Really?
100%.
Why would you do that?
Because Prince Harry was helpless in needing his mother. He's always needed his mother. And it just so happened that instead he got the trailer trash with the same perfume.
Wow.
What I love about, and it's something about a resilience thing and about the post-it notes, is if anybody's seen recent, and you may be an anti-monarchist and you know, more...
How do you feel
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
about the monarchy? Is you?
Oh, I think I like that people like them. I like the elderly people gathered, like the respect I thought for the Queen's funeral. I found it charming. And over time, why not allow people who loved the Queen and believed they had a relationship with her in a meaningful way, why not allow them to feel proud and to lie in the street and queue for days? What I love that spine, that's meaning for people. And I accept many people don't agree, but that's okay as well. Stay home. I don't think you need to stand with a sign saying, "Not my king." Just get out of the way for a minute. Like I could get out of the way if I disagreed with something. Let people who need that have it. But what I really love is Kate Middleton.
Oh my God!
People can say, oh, she's just posh and she's just useless and she just doesn't do anything. Look at the way she's rolling it now. Like if you looked at her for any of the latest outings, she is power. She comes out there all humble. Wow! She holds her hands just so. She has her little legs just so. Stuff I don't have any understanding about, like female stuff, like crazy. But she, inside, I can see in her. She
Are you serious?
is like that. to Meghan Markle. Every time she steps out, she's basically doing that, but via, Alexander McQueen and, immaculate everything. I love her for that. Like, powerful woman, her. So that really, I guess I find the positive in things.
So do you think the coronation of the king...
Wait for it.
Did that bring a bit of togetherness back with what had happened with the royal family? Do you think the royal family is like any empire, a dying empire?
Here it comes.
Yeah, I think it's golly, you're a bit tragic, aren't you? Dying mama.
Well, I mean, death is life, isn't it?
Ooh.
We're
Well, now you've gone back to the light. I don't know.
No, but okay, let me... I have this theory that everything in the universe is either growing or dying. Nothing is staying the same.
True.
So we're either growing or we're dying.
Uh-huh.
And the British Empire, I mean, look at what it was. Obviously, there's some big downsides to how the empire went and claimed its land from other people. But it was a strong, powerful empire. We had the global reserve currency. Now our pound's worth fuck all. Monarchy is probably a bit of a global joke.
But I think you can go from naive positivity in your youth to determined positivity in your haggard wisdom days.
In our leather faces.
In our later days.
Yeah.
So like a determined positivity, which is like, so we're talking about the royal family. Okay, so sure that, the end of times for the royal family is surely coming.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
They surely can't sustain past another generation. But in this moment, was it an uplift, the coronation?
Yes.
In a particular moment in it that and in Kay Mid and the way she's just like...
Yeah.
I like that woman walking up the, what do you call it in a church? I was going to say gangway, the aisle of the church. Walking up the gangway, what's not a pirate? With a, just Holland Cooper trousers on. Just, that is a look. So it's a determined positivity, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
It's that we see what's coming, but there is so much positive that I now feel.
Are you serious?
So that, and I think the coronation, the thing I loved about it was that the day that the Queen passed, King Charles became king, and within 12 hours he had to start
That doesn't make sense.
going through English, Scottish, Welsh and Irish parliaments to do whatever the ceremonial thing was, forgive me. But what an amazing thing to have been schooled all your life.
Okay.
That was your purpose. And within 12 hours of losing your mother, you are stood in parliaments reassuring gives me the shivers, reassuring the nation. So you can be anti-monarchist, you can be anti-everything, you could be anti-me, but I very much like the sort of moral courage of that thing.
And what about the Queen? Whether you like the monarchy or not, did you ever hear her complain?
No.
Never. When all the stuff was happening with Prince Andrew,
Oh my God.
and Harry, when did she once lose her aura? Never. Unbreakable woman.
And right at the end, so everyone was gathered, weren't they,
Wait for it.
outside the balcony, and she'd gone in because she was in so much pain, and she couldn't come out. And Charles went in evidently and said, "I really think, Mummy, you should come on." And she made it out there.
Are you serious?
And people didn't know that within, 8 days, she would be dead.
Yeah.
But she knew because she had to battle through. So, without kind of labouring it for those who are completely over the royal family.
But
Here it comes.
you could be over the royal family, but respect the Queen.
And respect strength.
Yeah, strength.
So strength is what I respect it with the Queen, and I respect it with what King Charles was able to do at the same time as he lost his mum. And I so respect it with Kate Middleton.
Okay, so the first installment of Harry and Meghan, which is obviously Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's new Netflix documentary, premiered last night, and I did not watch it because I didn't need to watch it. I knew exactly what was going to happen in this documentary series. I actually told you guys last week what was going to happen because Meghan Markle is just the most predictable person in the entire world. She's very predictable. I knew.
Wait for it.
Throughout their entire relationship, because I do believe that she is an emotionally abusive person, that she is embarking on Freudian transfer. She is using a real childhood trauma that Prince Harry suffered from, losing his mother, and she has used it to further harness him to her and their relationship. She has convinced him. He actually believes that Meghan Markle is Princess Diana. Okay? So in case you missed it, the documentary, it turns out Meghan Markle is Princess Diana. That's what she wants you guys to know. She is Princess Diana. And fortunately for Prince Harry, this time he got to save his mom. I mean, how sick is that? Me even saying that, it sounds so sick, but this is actually what is taking place. So here are some quotes of what he said and the reason why he responds to Meghan Markle's compassion and, quote, warmth is because it's just like his late mother. This is from Prince Harry. Quote, so much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mom. She has the same compassion. She has the same empathy. Oh my God! She has the same confidence. She has this warmth about her. That is disturbing on so many levels. It's disturbing because this is something that I didn't want to be right about, but it was so obvious. And it was one quotation that she had given a while ago where she said that
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
I think she was about 7 months pregnant, and this is when they were still within the royal family. And she said that she told him that she was going to kill herself, but she wasn't going to do it. But she knew, like, while he was gone, he was at some event and he got home, and she said, I was going to kill myself, but I didn't do it because I didn't want you to suffer the same thing that you suffered with your mom. She actually came out and said that she said this to him. So I'm picturing a woman that is 7 months pregnant with somebody's child and saying, I was just about to kill myself, but I know what you went through with your mom and I didn't want you to suffer again.
Are you serious?
And that obviously triggered, because it's so emotionally abusive, it triggered Prince Harry, and that became the reason that they left the royal family. And any person, as somebody tweeted, or actually earlier today, they said, I don't see how any person can watch this documentary and not feel extreme compassion for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And I don't understand, if you don't feel compassion, you have a heart of stone. I'm paraphrasing, but that was essentially the tweet. And I have tremendous compassion. I have tremendous compassion for any person that is in an emotionally abusive relationship. So emotionally abusive that they have successfully isolated you from your entire family. It's not normal. There is no relationship that you should be in that should isolate you from your entire family. Okay? And the fact that he is in one, that she is convincing him that their extreme gaslighting of the world is not taking place. Remember, they left, they issued statements, and they did interviews all about the pursuit of their own privacy. That's all they ever wanted. What extreme gaslighting? That
Wait for it.
everything that they have done since they left has been public. You do not pursue your privacy with Oprah. It's just not how you do it. You just don't do it in a sit-down interview with Oprah. And I would believe that truly they just wanted to help people by sharing their story if they weren't being paid $100 million to do it, right? If they were just about wanting to share their story, they'd be going around and doing charity and speaking to people that are dealing with issues and
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
forms of emotional abuse within their own families. They are doing this for money while gaslighting you and trying to convince you that they're doing it because they have a heart and they have compassion. The only person that you should feel bad for in this story, and allow me to remind you that he also lost his mother, is Prince William. Because what his brother is doing is so twisted. And again, I don't think he's doing it to be evil. I believe the person that is behind this, perpetuating this, is Meghan Markle. She is smarter than him. She is more conniving than him. And he just cannot see the writing that is on the wall. He cannot see that when you lose all of your friends and all of your family and you're ushered to America in Hollywood with a D-list actress, it is because you are under the spell of a witch. I do believe that she is a witch and she has cast a spell. And the person that is suffering is Prince William. As his brother does this, as his brother digs up these old, horrible memories for profit. I mean, how sick and how twisted. It is a family. We have to spiritually protect family. Family is sacred. And the way that he is treating it is so narcissistic and so Hollywood and so elitist because they don't have values and principles in Hollywood. everything goes to the highest bidder. They will sell their children. They will sell their brother who is over there
Wait for it.
knowing that his brother cannot speak out on this Netflix documentary, that they cannot respond, that him and his wife and how it is impacting them and their family and their children who are seeing this in the press day in and day out. They're convincing you that all they wanted to do was run away from the press, right? She's just like Princess Diana, guys. Princess Diana was killed because the press just wouldn't leave her alone. And so what Meghan Markle has done is pursued the most press in the form of a Netflix documentary, the most possible press she could possibly receive, and wants you to believe that it's because all she wanted to do was to escape them. And here's what's especially sick, and I want to add this to it. So Prince William came...
Stop it.
So I wonder whether this is sort of part of the political messaging that the government's trying to put out in terms of focusing outside of London and outside of the southeast, and whether in 5 years' time this will be sort of confined to the dustbin of Sunday political stories.
I think it will too.
But I mean, what they are talking about is that they're looking at a range of options. One of them could be moving the Lords to York or possibly Birmingham. We learn that's also in the running. It would be a huge logistical process to do it, and it would be at great expense as well. I mean, I think people would probably be raising eyebrows as well as, why are you moving the Lords up to York if you're trying to sort of put politicians back in touch with real people?
Are you serious?
Why are you putting the secondary chamber
the
up
one
there?
I know.
Is it just a bit of an expensive gesture? Other options that are in this piece this morning, though, are things like the Commons doing special sittings outside of London. That feels like a more realistic option, but I think whichever way it pans out, I'm sure Number 10 won't be unhappy with a day of coverage about them possibly looking at sort of showing the North East a bit of love.
OK, thanks ever so much indeed. That was Rob Powell, political correspondent at Sky News. I don't know about relocating the House of Lords. Strikes me as being cover for the real thing that should happen, which is massive wholesale reform and change of the House of Lords and make it elected. Rebecca Long-Bailey and I at one on that. Well, let's get a bit more political interpretation of what's really going on behind the scenes in the Labour Party. And I'm going to talk to Kevin Maguire, the associate editor at the Daily Mirror. Kevin, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Nigel. You've been offered a peerage?
No, good God, no.
What about a knighthood?
Good God, no. You must be joking. Kevin, they like you more than they like me, but I can assure you.
I'm not so sure.
All right, call it a tie on that one.
Yeah,
you know.
we have something in common.
Now, Kevin, I have to congratulate the Mirror Group, because the Sunday Mirror headline today, Queen orders a hard Megxit. Without doubt, the best front page of the day. And Kevin, tell me, how are these Labour leadership candidates facing up to a country that will have left the European Union?
Very good question.
Yeah, by trying not to talk about it at the moment is the way they're doing it.
I mean, Jess Phillips kind of hinting that maybe we could rejoin.
Yeah, then she backtracked. In fact, her first major media
That doesn't make sense.
appearance, TV interview, ended up in a clarification where she spoke about in 2024, 25 at the next general election, possibly proposing another referendum. Now, Keir Starmer, who was the shadow Brexit secretary, pushed very hard for Labour to propose a referendum, although he didn't want the Corbyn position of not saying how Labour would go in that referendum. He wanted it to be recommend and remain. He's backed off and just accepts that Britain will be out and to kind of leave it. There'll have to be a formal word in the manifesto, and it might be closer cooperation, be warmer, but I can't see the next Labour manifesto fighting the last election with a referendum proposal. But no, they're keeping their heads down. They'll wait for the 31st to be out of the way, then they'll get stuck into the trade negotiations with the European Union, which are just going to be tricky. Of course, there'll be talks with Trump down the line. That's where they will focus.
Yeah, and so far, I know it's really, really early in this process that goes on to the 4th of April, which is almost unbelievable. But I have to say, I really did think that Lisa Nandy did incredibly well with Andrew Neil the other evening.
No, I think she would be their best choice. I think she's got the most potential. Yeah, absolutely. She did well at the hustings within Parliament with her fellow MP. She did well yesterday. Andrew Neil. She kind of just She left aside bluster and tried to answer the questions honestly. We know Boris Johnson dodged the Andrew Neil interview during the election. You know yourself, he's very tough because he's very forensic. Yeah, he took Jeremy Corbyn apart, who was underprepared during the election. But no, I think Nandi would be their finest choice. All the polling at the moment suggests she has a lot of ground to make up, and it looks a two-horse race between Keir Starmer and Rebecca Long-Bailey, who is, despite her denials, the continuity Corbyn candidate. And of course, as she in one breath says, "I'm not the Corbyn continuity candidate," and in the next she's given him 10 out of 10 as a leader. So she's kind of clearly conflicted on how she handles that issue. But see, Nigel, I take issue with you where you say it goes to April the 4th, and it's too long. I think it's too short. The reason I argue this, Nigel, is Labour's just suffered a fourth successive